They just want to put it on.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, June 3rd City Council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santee.
Here.
Alderman Glab.
Here.
Alderman McClatchy.
Here.
Alderwoman Bassey. Here. Alderman Davis.
Here.
Alderman Cook.
Here.
Alderwoman Miller. Present.
Please stand pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this time I'm called to order a public hearing at 7:01 p.m. On the City of McHenry's proposed ordinance authorizing renewal and execution of a cable franchise agreement between the City of McHenry and Comcast. I am looking for any public comment regarding this item. See none. I am looking for a motion to close. All in favor?
No, motion first, second.
Motion. Alderwoman Miller.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing on the proposed ordinance for the renewal of the cable franchise agreement.
Sounds good. Second. Alderman Santee.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Santee.
Yes.
Alderman Glab.
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, Council. At this time, I'm looking for a motion to pass the proposed ordinance authorizing renewal and execution of a cable franchise agreement between the City of McHenry and Comcast. Alderwoman Miller.
I'll make the motion to pass the ordinance authorizing the renewal and execution of a cable franchise agreement between the City of McHenry and Comcast.
Thank you. Second. Alderman Glab.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on this item by City Council. Alderman Glab.
Yeah, I know we had some rough goings many years ago with Comcast and staff working with them. Those issues were resolved, and been many years since I can remember any major issues with the cable company, so I don't have a problem.
Alderman McClatchy.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wish someone was here from Comcast because I had a couple questions. Seems like their bill keeps going up every 2 months, and I just would like to have someone here to answer those questions, that's all.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? Open it up for public comment. See none, clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Glab.
Yes.
Alderman Santee.
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Next item on the agenda is a public comment. Jessica Bedwell, you come to the podium. If you could hit the center button there to turn on the mic. And please state your name and address for public record.
My name is Jessica Bedwell, and my address is 4602 West North Fox Lane, number 5, Henry, 60050.
Thank you. Floor is yours.
Hello, City Council. Thank you for allowing the opportunity for public comment. My name is Jessica Bedwell, and I'm here today regarding the future of Landmark Elementary School. My daughter attends school at Landmark, and we received notice of the intent to close our school based on the April 9th Board of Education meeting. If you have not watched the meeting yet, please do so, as it contains vital information about the potential closure of a pillar of our community. Over the years, Landmark's maintenance has been repeatedly neglected. The district is now discussing closing our school, stating financial reasons, even though their list of requirements includes many wants and not needs. Our taxpayers have been paying taxes expecting the maintenance of all of our schools, yet one of our schools has been neglected. Now we are being asked to pay the price of this with the closure of our school. This is a disservice to all of our McHenry residents. Landmark offers a unique educational opportunity that draws residents into our community. Many people I have talked to within this community say that they moved here because of Landmark's unique year-round program. And many people I have spoken to said this is the reason they stay. Some may be thinking, why am I here at City Council discussing a matter pertaining to District 15? I am here because this issue impacts residents in every neighborhood in McHenry. Landmark is a school of choice, that every alderman and every alderwoman here likely has a Landmark family within your neighborhood. Many of you have probably been contacted by some of our families already. Due to this issue impacting residents in all of our neighborhoods and the fact that we are discussing a 130-year-old landmarked school, I feel the city needs to be involved with this matter. I ask the City of McHenry to work alongside District 15 to save Landmark Elementary School. This is a very special program and a very special school, and it truly brings residents to our community, and it keeps them here. If the program ends and the school is closed, the next logical step would be to sell the building. Then what will become of our beloved 130-year-old school? Will we be hearing the Landmark bell ring for the last time? Amazing things can be accomplished when our educational governing bodies and our city governing bodies work together. I know together we can find a solution to this issue. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jessica. Is there anyone else from that would like to make a public comment regarding items that are not on the agenda this evening? All right. Moving on to consent agenda items 7A through 7D. I'm looking to see if any council members would like to pull an item for separate consideration. Alderman Gleb?
Yeah, I'd like to pull C, please.
Any others? I'm looking for a motion to approve 7A, B, and D. Alderman Santee?
I'll make the motion to approve consent agenda items A, B, and D as presented.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Miller?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Discussion on these items? See none? Please call the roll.
Alderman Santee.
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey.
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderman Glab.
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Item 7C was pulled by Alderman Glab, the May 20th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes. Alderman Glab, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the fact that the last part of our meeting, on the May 20th meeting was discussion about transparency and the fact we needed to look at what we could open up from executive session as far as the fact that pricing and everything else on a lot of these properties have already been negotiated. All of this was kept out of the minutes completely, and I think it's very important that they are in there, the fact that those statements were made. And I would like this to be held back until the next meeting and the proper minutes be instilled into the May 20th meeting minutes.
Okay, so I was kind of a rock and a hard place on those minutes because we were talking about executive minutes, and so I probably should have reached out to Attorney McCardle and asked him what I should have done in that situation. Because if we're talking about executive minutes, it's very hard for me to be able to write things about that. I have to do separate minutes for executive minutes. I understand like what you're saying about the transparency part, so maybe I should have, put a different summary. So probably part of that is on me for not reaching out on it. But it is a little bit of an uncomfortable situation because I know that those are private minutes, and I didn't want to disclose anything that I should not be.
Yeah, there was nothing in there that was executive session comments that I made. And I think if you review the video, you'll see that. And that
Okay.
all we're asking is that what I called for is put in the minutes properly so that they are recorded.
Okay, I will review it and I will go ahead and make an addendum to the minutes. If you could email me previously, then I could have, kind of had this smoothed out before we got here too.
Yeah. Well, like I say, all you got to do is read the video or watch the video, and it'll pretty much show you what was said. And even if it's a summation of it, at least it's the fact that it was brought up.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so at this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve 7C as presented. Well, if there's enough votes to do that. So a motion to approve. Alderman Miller.
I'll make the motion that we approve 7C as presented pending an amendment from our clerk.
Second.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All right, discussion on this item? Alderman Gleb?
Yeah, when would the amendment be put on as far as at the next meeting or?
It would be based on that motion.
I'm sorry?
It would not come back on that, based on that
Right.
motion.
Okay, so in other words, it would never come back to the council to approve what the actual minutes should be.
Yeah, the clerk was, in that motion, the clerk was directed to edit, to include your comments.
From the video.
So the city council might not like that and vote against it, but that was the motion in the second.
Okay?
As soon as Monty gets back, we'll work together to get it updated, and then it'll be corrected.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, any other discussion?
So what are we correcting?
I mean, are you?
Adding to the minutes of what he discussed at the meeting, last meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Clerk, please call.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
No.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderwoman Batty?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Next item on the agenda is 8A, individual action item. I'm looking for a motion to approve the block party request on Dale Street on December 28, 2024.
Mayor, I will be recusing myself from this
Okay.
discussion.
Thank you. Yeah, you attending? Looking for a motion to approve. Alderman McClatchy?
Motion to approve the block party?
Thank you. Second? Alderman Glab?
Yeah, I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion on this item by City Council. Yeah, I would hope so. We all invited? It's Vic's party. Oh, there we go. So we're not invited. That's pretty much. Any public comment regarding this item? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderwoman Batty?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Santee is abstained.
Thank you, Council. Have fun, Vic. Items 8B and C were pulled by the applicant. Notify Council today about that. So we're going to move on to 8D, 2006 Orchard Beach Road annexation. I'm looking for a motion to pass an ordinance annexing 2006 Orchard Beach Road. Alderman Glem?
Yeah, I'll make that motion as presented.
Thank you. Second, Alderman Santee.
I will second the motion.
Discussion on this item by City Council. Alderman Glem?
Yeah, I just think there's been enough of a discussion about that area, and if you have a homeowner that would like to annex and they are contiguous, there should be no problem.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Open up for public comment regarding this item. See none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderwoman Batty?
Yes.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Next item on the agenda is 8E, 366 Bank Drive Conditional Use Permit. Looking for a motion to pass an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to allow a drive-through restaurant at 366 Bank Drive. Looking for a motion. Alderman Santee?
I will make the motion on the conditional use permit for 366 Bank Drive as presented.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Miller?
I'll second that motion.
Discussion by City Council? Alderman Santee?
Yeah, it's good that this comes through the planning and zoning, and then it comes to us, and working with the owner of the center, and able to make it a little bit more attractive to potential renters of the space and property, where they have some more options as we hopefully he'll be locating some potential clients to take up some space over there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Alderman Miller?
Director Palarecki, are the dumpsters in the back of that building right now?
They are, yes.
And is,
So that was brought up during staff discussion. We talked with the landowner, and they're going to have to coordinate garbage pickup along with deliveries for some of the existing businesses there. So they're gonna have to change their schedules for this to operate appropriately.
is there any way to corral them?
I think they are in a corral right now, like in an enclosure, dumpster enclosure?
They're not, I was just there yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's tight space, and when the the dumpster trucks go back there, it's just gonna be even tighter space. I like the flow, and I always like to see additional drive-through opportunities, because we certainly have enough business that like that. I was just a little concerned about that process.
you can always put a condition.
I don't want to do, because we don't, I
But
read
if
the
they're-
minutes, we don't know who the potential tenant with the drive-through is going to be, correct?
So we do not, and I don't think there is a tenant. This is just giving them the option.
Right.
And you may never see a drive-through there. I don't know how that's worked out with. Mark, is there anybody here from the? Yeah, I thought, Mark, can you step up, maybe answer some of the questions?
Mark, if you don't mind hitting the center button there, turn on the mic, and if you could state your name
Good.
and address for public record.
Mark Ignis, residential address is 630 North State Street, Chicago.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark, for being here.
Sure.
So I think it's always great to expand, and I again read the minutes. So, my only concern was flow, but if you don't know who the tenant is, you don't know what the flow is gonna be, so it's a moot question.
Correct. Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? Alderman McClatchy, go ahead.
Thank you. Just in your wildest dreams estimate, do you have any idea who moved in there?
Yeah, we're talking with a couple coffee shops and a sandwich shop currently, but we have nothing signed. There's
Right.
nothing
I get it.
agreement. Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alderman Glab, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, in the discussions, was the amount of parking lot ever brought up as far as the amount of parking spaces that are required? Food establishment would need that, correct?
Right. Well, the center was designed for, in a way that.
Businesses.
Yeah.
The center wasn't designed for it was designed for a bank with additional offices above it
What?
originally.
You're at the wrong site.
It's a strip center. Yeah.
Right, Gemato's Pizza. You're at the wrong site.
So it isn't the bank site? It
No.
is?
It's the old dry cleaners across the street.
Okay. And that's why I was gonna bring that up when I saw the square. All right, so then,
And we had some concerns, that we negotiated with Mark, about stacking, about, the lane, the drive aisle lane in the rear of the property. There's gonna be, hash marks at the exit doors of the units to, try and keep traffic away from the building. I think we talked about the use of bollards,
Right.
back there. It's definitely tight. I think it's doable, but it's tight, and he's gonna have to, talk to the tenants that are there to rearrange the delivery schedules and the garbage pickup, so.
well, all I know is years back, we approved, the ice cream place there, the Big Deli and all that was in that shopping center.
Dairy Queen?
Yeah, and there they had a little extra space, but yet it was still a tight turn, and you made a very difficult, wide turn to get around. Here, there's not even that room to make that wide turn. I just don't see it. Not really conducive to have a drive-through at that specific location. You got your cars stacked over there. Where would you basically be looking at as far as the order, where they would be ordering their orders and where they would be picking them up?
I don't have a site plan in front of me, but the order looks like it would be right before the building. There'd be a menu board there. And then when you say
before they
tight
reach the
turn, what do you
building?
mean by where's the tight turn on the building? I don't, what corner are you talking about?
You're showing the stacks there, and then you're talking, I don't know, is that east that it goes after that?
If you look at page 69 of the packet, it shows the proposed drive-through directional signage and then the proposed drive-through menu board.
Okay. Again, I worry about that tight turn. If all the business is being done on that one side, then I don't see a problem, but if there's room there to make the wide turn. I just don't want it to wind up to where you have the pickup after the turn, shortly after, because it's just too tight of a turn on the building.
Before the turn.
It's before the turn, it's on the
So
side.
it is,
It's
that's
where,
why I'm asking.
it's where the arrow.
Page 69.
Where you see the arrow, if you're looking at page 69, where the first car in the backing order at the rear of the building is where the window is.
Okay.
Yeah, the order, Andy, is out on the island there. They've got the drive-through directional signage and the drive-through menu board right on the island, on the front island. And then you get back where you are, so the orders can be made.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, in my opinion, I think, Mark, you want the business to be successful. The person that's going to be moving into it wants it to be successful.
Correct.
So, our hopes that you would want to make the changes that you need to make, or the flow to work. So,
Absolutely. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's I think it works, and be able to work with the future tenant to deal with the garbage issues and all that issues. So
Sure.
they'll know ahead of time.
Sounds good. Any other discussion?
Well, I was gonna say, just my reservations were more of, from the order to where they pick it up, and if it's all being done on that one side, and then they make the turn to leave, I don't see a problem. But
Thank you.
the only thing I really do, it's gonna be more of a fast food type drive-through, so it's not gonna be a regular restaurant or anything like
Right.
that, correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Alderman Bassey?
Thanks. I checked it out yesterday, and just like Alderwoman Miller said, the garbage cans are really tight, and that's a big concern of mine. Negotiating the cars by the garbage, so...
Well, there is a garbage area that's separate from the drive. It steps off the drive.
Right.
It's not on the drive.
Yeah, but I kind of looked at all that yesterday, and I
Okay.
think it's really tight. So if you're willing to work with Ross, get everything taken care of, would be okay, but I just
Of
thought
course.
it was tight.
No,
I
of
thought it
course.
was a little tight.
Alderman Miller?
Mark, how many square feet is that in units?
Right now, it's about 1,200 square feet.
So fairly small.
Small.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Any public comment regarding this item? See none? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santee?
Oh, sorry, hold on. Alderman Davis, go ahead.
I just didn't know if there was since I did vote on this for PMZ, can I?
David?
No, you should vote twice. Okay.
There you go.
Just wanted to make sure that's okay.
Trish, go ahead.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
You need to turn off your mics if you're not on. Thank you.
You can do that.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Sorry, Alderwoman Miller.
Yes?
Okay, Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Good luck. If you need anything up from us, let us know, okay? Thanks, Mark. Next item on the agenda is 8F, 5,000 Key Lane use variance. I'm looking for a motion to pass an ordinance granting a use variance to allow a model home leasing office for the property at 5,000 Key Lane. This time, I'm looking for a motion to approve. Alderman McClatchy?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Miller?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Discussion on this item by City Council? Alderman Glad?
Yeah, as far as Key Lane goes with the leasing office, would like to see something in there that specifically states that that leasing office is only for that subdivision and not for others. In other words, that leasing office is only for that area. And that's the stipulation, and only because of the fact, I'm not saying that that's what the intention is, but down the road, you never know. And that, therefore, the use should be just for a leasing office for those properties.
Okay.
I would feel a lot more comfortable.
So to those that made the motion, is that something that you want to change the motion?
Yeah, I'll add that amendment to it. That way, that it's primary use.
Only for the sale of those
Yeah,
properties.
Right.
I'd like to hear from the petitioner.
State your name and address for public record.
Brian Cunat, 6202 Katmai Trail, McHenry, Illinois. And I have no problem with Alderman Glab's suggestion. The only thing is that office is designed to serve as a model and leasing office for all of the townhouses that start at Bull Valley Road and particularly the other street it ends in, but the whole area of townhomes, not just, maybe that little section or something.
Right.
That's broken up a little bit. But other than that, yeah, I would think it's a discussion.
All right. Thank you, sir.
More than anything else, I was talking the entire subdivision when I was talking about limiting it. In other words, like you said, all the way down to Bull Valley, and I just look at. Sorry, but you've sold properties in the past, and you never know what might happen 10 years down the road, and that way it's lock solid exactly what the use is to be.
Okay. Thank you. Alderman Miller?
I'm fine if that's his intent.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You have any questions? Does anyone have any questions for the applicant?
I do.
You do? Okay. Alderman Bassi?
Hi, Brian. Quick question for you. I know that that's rental. Those are all rental townhomes. Is that correct? Where you're going to put your office?
Yes.
Out of courtesy, have you just talked to any of the current people renting that area and let them know that you're going to be put? Okay. And they've been okay with it? I mean, they don't have a choice. It's rent.
Any concerns with it? One of the nice things about that particular unit is it's an end unit, first of all.
I was there yesterday, too.
Parking right across the street.
Right.
On parking that is, not attached to any of the homes and so on. So it was a better location to have it. Anyway, so but we did give a lot of thought to where we were going to put it.
Okay. And then if I was reading the packet correctly, I think they're duplexes. You've got an office there. You're going to close that one down, and everything will be in the townhouse.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And the duplex is actually listed for sale.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Brian? All right. Thanks, Brian. You can have a seat. Thanks. All right. Anyone from the public that would like to make a public comment regarding this item? See none? Clerk, please call the roll.
I need to go ahead, and how would you like me to list the motion?
The motion is amended.
And
He amended his first, she amended the second.
Okay.
So it's the same, it's one motion, but it includes the suggested amendment by Alderman Glab.
Got it.
You got
Thank
it?
you.
The
Thank you.
motion as presented, subject to the condition that all of the sales from this particular unit
Heritage
relate to the.
Heritage Point Estates. What? Heritage Point Estates,
There you go.
right? Brian, you're comfortable with it saying just Heritage Point Estates?
Yeah, it officially was called Prairie Lakes and the Villas of Patriot Estates.
There you go.
All the townhouses.
Prairie Lakes in the village and Prairie Lakes in the villas of, yeah.
You'll get it.
she's like, yeah, well.
I'll be emailing.
She's like, I'll watch this video tomorrow.
Well, if it needs to be in the motion, I just want the right subdivisions listed.
Right.
Correct.
So,
Got it. Okay. Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassi?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderman Sandy?
Yes. Thank you, council. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Go ahead. Alderman Miller, go ahead. Brian.
Before you leave, Brian.
No, that'll be it.
How's it going, if I could just ask an off question, how's it going on 31? How many units?
Doing on 31?
Can you give an update on 31 since you're here?
Didn't see that on the agenda, but I'm very happy about that. Things are going very well.
Can we do that?
Project out there, we have.
Can you turn your mic on?
Hey, push the button.
Push the button so with the people on, the two people online.
I think
can
we
watch.
have occupancy on 90 units. If I'm mistaken, I'm pretty close. We have, I think, 87 of the 90 leased. The rents that were proposed here to the city council are the rents that we are getting currently. Based on what we're seeing, we'll probably have to raise those rents a little bit because the demand has been, we haven't advertised or anything yet. It's just all off the sign. So I say it's going very, very well. We are still hoping to have that first phase of the project done in the 2024 year. So.
Thank you.
Great.
Klaus is open. We don't have the pool open yet, but that's just waiting on the state permit. But yeah, stop by.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. All right, next item on the agenda is 8G, 3707 Waukegan Road zoning map amendment. Looking for a motion to pass an ordinance granting a zoning map amendment to RS4 High Density Single Family Residential District for the property located at 3707 Waukegan Road. Alderman Santee?
I'll make the motion at 3707 Waukegan Road zoning map amendment as presented.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Cook?
I'll second that motion.
Discussion by City Council? Alderman Bassi?
Is the applicant here?
No.
Yes, he is here. Neil?
Okay. Can you step up to the podium? Please, Cook. There you go.
Good evening, yeah.
Hi.
Can you state your name and address for public record?
Neil Kalanka, 18753 West Casey Road, Grays Lake, Illinois.
Thank you.
I just have a few real quick questions. I saw that the actual property was being fixed up, and that was really nice. You had workers in there even on a Sunday. And I saw the MPU. Now, my question is, and you might help, is this going to be two separate addresses? Is one piece going to be a rental? If you can just walk me through and help me figure this
I
out.
was just trying to get the separate lot with a separate PIN number so I could build another single-family home.
Separate address.
Separate address.
Separate. I
Thank
should be a separate address to your question, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other questions for the applicant?
Just more so than anything, has everything been looked at as far as setbacks and all that? Is that all going to work?
Yeah, the lots, the subdivision is actually creating a lot that is exactly like all the neighboring lots within a few blocks. So it's almost like someone bought this property one time, bought the lot next door to him, created one pin for it. So he's just separating it back into two pins. It meets the zoning requirements for the RS4 district. Actually, it's zoned multifamily right now. You approving this tonight will give it a single-family zoning.
Okay, thank you.
Both lots. Thank you.
Alderman Cook, did you have a question?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other discussion on this item? All right, see none. Open to the public for public comment? See none? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassi?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Next item on the agenda is H, Community Solar Agreement. I'm looking for a motion to pass an ordinance authorizing the mayor's execution of a community solar subscription agreement between the City of McHenry and Arcadia. Alderman Santee?
I will make the motion for the community solar agreement as presented.
Thank you. Second, Alderman McClatchy?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Discussion by City Council? Alderman Santee?
So are there any upfront city costs here?
There are not.
Okay. And we are by no means committed to any kind of installation of solar panels in the city of McHenry proper.
No, we are not.
Okay. And just a confirmation. Carolyn and I spoke earlier today. We're probably looking at, I don't know if is it credits or is actual income that comes in, but those will probably start in 2025.
So yeah, it'll be credits on our utility bills, but yeah, it'll be in early 2025 at some point.
Okay. Thank you.
Alderman Davis?
Just from looking at it, it looks like this is more of a lease, right? Program, like, or more, so meaning rather than a sale, the company is on the hook for doing maintenance and all that over that period of time, correct?
Yeah, they have a farm, as they call it, in another location. It's probably not even in the city itself.
Any other questions, comments? Alderman Glenn?
Yeah. What exactly was the motion?
Motion to approve. To pass an ordinance authorizing the mayor's execution of community solar subscription agreement between the city of McHenry and Arcadia.
To approve the ordinance. Where's the ordinance? We don't have an ordinance in front of us at all in this entire packet.
So you want to cross out the words "to pass an ordinance." That would work.
Okay. No, wait a minute. You're going to cross out
A motion
the words
to authorize the mayor's execution of the community solar subscription agreement between the city of McHenry and Arcadia.
Bingo. What about an ordinance? When are we going to wind up approving the ordinance then down the road? Don't we, or do we?
No.
We don't even need to have an
You need to
ordinance?
authorize the mayor signing it somehow.
Okay.
Motion, resolution, or a,
Okay. All right, so we don't need an ordinance as long as we have the motion. That's fine then. All right.
Thank you. Alderman Bassi?
Carolyn, quick question. Do you have any idea where the actual farm is located? You said it's not in the city of McHenry.
I don't. They don't give us that information.
So, okay. I was just saying, anywhere in McHenry County.
I don't think it even has to be in McHenry County. I think it can be in the state. I mean, it's an Illinois program, so it has to be in the state.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be nearby.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion by city council? See none. Open up for public comment. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glass?
Yes.
Alderman Bassi?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8I, fueling station fence and gate. Looking for a motion to, one, waive competitive bidding, two, pass an ordinance for a budget amendment in the amount of $15,892 with funds transferred from the police asset forfeiture account, and three, award the fence project to Wood Master Fence in the amount not to exceed $65,892. Alderman Miller?
I'll make that motion to waive competitive bidding and to pass the ordinance for a budget amendment in the amount of $15,890 with funds transferred from John Burke's police asset forfeiture account and build a fence not to exceed $65,892. Thank you, John, for a nice fence.
Second. Looking for a second. Alderman B.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Discussion by city council? Alderman Glenn?
Just that maybe we need to have an oxygen mask over here for these long motions, because we could all run out of breath. But I just wanted to say, Chief, it was great that you took the forfeiture account to use this expeditiously and responsibly. So thank you.
Any other discussion? Alderman Miller?
Is it appropriate to ask how much is in the forfeiture account?
This one, I have to email it to you because I don't know the exact amount.
Okay, no biggie, thank you. I don't remember seeing,
It's over 6 figures.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other discussion by city council? Any public comment regarding this item? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassi?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glenn?
Yes.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item is 8J, Water Tower Number 4 painting project. Looking for a motion to award a lump sum contract for the Water Tower Number 4 painting project to ERA Valdivia Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $814,801 and authorize a 10% contingency in the amount of $81,480. Looking for a motion to approve. Alderman Miller?
I'll make that motion to award a lump sum contract to the water tower painting number 4 to Era Valdivia Contractors in the amount of astronomical $814,801 and to authorize a 10% contingency fund of $81,480.
Thank you. Alderman Bassi for a second.
I will second that and compliment Alderman Miller on her reading.
Discussion by City Council. Alderman McClatchy.
Thank you. Have they done work for us before? I'm going.
This contractor is not.
Okay.
But the references checked out, and actually all the other bidders that were out there, they all said that they were quality contractors.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Alderman?
I just want to state that when you look at the dollar figure and everything else, there's so many other things that we could uplift the city with that type of dollars. But if we were not to paint these water towers and keep them up, that over time they would deteriorate. And so, unfortunately, it's something that we have to do.
Alderman Miller?
I actually have a couple questions. First of all, do you know that American Airlines doesn't paint their jets so that they don't have to repaint them? They just leave them polished aluminum, but it's kind of cool. This is the first time I've actually seen numbers like this. Is it just man hours that takes forever that's $1 million to paint a water tower?
Yeah, it's the most of the cost is in the labor between having to tent it and then get up there and paint it. It's mostly in the labor. Yes.
I mean, I'm assuming they're up there sanding off the old paint and.
They will blast it. They will blast the paint off. They will blast it all the way down to the steel, then prime it again and paint it.
Cool. Thank you.
Alderman Cook?
Were there any other bids, or is this just a good company to go with?
There were 5 bids. The highest bid was 2.6 million, and the lowest was 840,000.
Sounds good to me.
Any other questions?
It's in the pack.
All right, see none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Bassi?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderman Santi?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. No discussion items tonight. Any staff reports? Always you, Bill. Go ahead. Yeah.
Bit. A couple things. This Friday, we will be lucky enough to host the Deputy Director of Tourism from the state of Illinois. We'll be in town just to tour a couple venues as well as the Riverwalk and Miller Point and the tiny shops down there. So it'll be an exciting opportunity to showcase our town. Yeah, yeah. So just some of the things that we're doing are people are noticing the things that we're doing, and so having him in town, he's in town for Naturally McHenry County has their annual dinner on Thursday evening, so he'll be attending that, and then staying over and then parlaying that with a visit to McHenry. So exciting opportunity for us on Friday. And then before we meet again, the Kids Fishing Derby will happen. That's coming back. That's been the JCs used to do that event, and that's at Whispering Oaks Park at the ponds. We had a local resident that has stepped up and kind of took on that challenge. We stock the fish. We spend $1,000 in stock. There are fish otherwise, but we do spend some money
I can never
to
catch anything there. I don't know.
specifically stock that. But it is a kids fishing derby. That's also the free fishing day in the state of Illinois, so those go hand in hand. It'll be a nice event for that one to come back. Also on that Saturday evening on the 15th will be our first Saturday evening concert at Miller Point Park. That's in conjunction with the Riverwalk Foundation, really taking the lead, being the support on that event. So excited for that as a gift to our community for what we've invested down there. And then I just can't say enough about, number one, the Pearl Street markets. If you haven't been there this year, take some time to visit those. It's been phenomenal, really. And then the second thing is that we had our first Sunday concert. Our first week was rained out, but Sundays at Miller Point, it was, you always, and I talked to Director Ostrovsky, or Administrator Ostrovsky today, but you always hope that a project works out the way you envision it to work out. It doesn't always work out that way, but being down there on Sunday and seeing the amount of families that were down there enjoying either the Riverwalk shops or the grass play area or the spray pad or the shipping containers, the rental of the boats, playing in the sand, just there for the concert. The amount of people that you had down there and seeing it all come together was really all that we could have hoped for that location. And every one of those boat docks, those public boat docks, was full. And so you have people, we're pulling people off the river. We're bringing, there wasn't a spot to be found in either lot. We're doing really good things, and it's to see it come together like that was something. And I got, the mayor had texted me that day. I happened to be down there, and then as well as the Riverwalk Shops manager also texted me. And her line, I have to say, her line was, "It's like a vacation in our own town," which I thought was a pretty apropos comment. That because of your investment into what we're doing down there, I think something we should be proud of. And if you have an opportunity on a Sunday from 1 to 4. Pop down, even if you just want to pop in. There's not, some little something. You don't have to stick around the whole time, but it's a good slate and a good atmosphere.
Thank you, Bill. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a chance to go down there yesterday, just for a little bit, but walked around. But what really stood out was the family atmosphere. I mean, it was really, really cool. So, good job.
Any other staff reports? See none? All right. Moving on to Mayor's report, I have nothing. City Council comments? Alderman Gleb?
Yeah, I want to bring up, today I noticed that District 156 has a tractor out there that they are pulling a huge roller to level out the property on the outer fields, actually all the way to the city lot, including part of the city lot back there. My reservations more than anything else is the fact that all that property was engineered years ago and re-engineered again when they did the expansion after the 2000 referendum for swales and everything else, that they're leveling out. They don't understand that they're changing the paths of water and whatnot, and I think the city needs to go in there and see what exactly they're doing to, again, protect the homeowner, which is me over there, but also all those condos along the along Oakwood are susceptible to the drainage as well. And I just think, again, who initiated it or whatever, I would think their administration did, but I think the city needs to know what's going on over there because, like I say, I think a lot of the swales could be flattened out, and instead of maintaining our swales, they're doing away with them. It looks like, and they've run over it quite a few times in the last few days. So I would ask that we look into that.
I'll contact maintenance tomorrow. Is it just a turf roller like you would use at your house where they're rolling their soccer fields to flat?
No, we're talking about a 600 or 700 pound.
Right, but are they actually tearing up the grass?
No, they're not tearing up the grass or anything.
It's just a roller.
Just a roller.
Okay. I'll get some information out to you.
All right, I would appreciate that. Like I say, it's the edge that I worry about more so than anything else. Looking at it sitting out there the last few days is no big deal. I mean, I realize they were in the process of, but again, what they're doing is my concerns. The other thing is we had one speaker about Landmark, and I think the city at some point, some of us have been quite interested. We went to the first meeting, and then unfortunately we couldn't make the next two meetings. But yes, the city should be involved in this. Evidently, the city was quite involved with it many years ago when they marked it as a landmark. And I think it is one of the, if not the oldest building left in the city of McHenry, and it is a symbol of the heritage of the city of McHenry. And I think we need to look at working with District 15 as far as to make sure that this building is preserved, and that if they decide to close it up as a school, that a valid use is used for it that is appropriate for that type of building.
Thank you. Any other city? Alderman Miller?
I have a couple things. Maybe because I've been out and about, I've been having more conversations with lots of people, not necessarily my constituents. But one of the requests that I had from multiple people in the last couple weeks is about pickleball. So I did send a email to Bill. Actually, we had a conversation, and then I followed it up with an email to Bill and Suzanne and Wayne, requesting what our plan was, because we talked about pickleball, and then I kind of fell off the planet and didn't hear anything. So I started that conversation. I own it. I'll hand it off to Bill, but then come back to me.
So I'll just add the short term is that we've taken on our tennis court. We have some sports striping that we put down to add pickleball courts. You can just line those up on the tennis court. That's a short term fix. Forthcoming here in the next month, you will have an agenda item before you that expands pickleball opportunities in McHenry. So if the council chooses to do so, we did receive some pricing towards that endeavor. I'll bring it forward as a supplement. Yeah.
Mayor, if I could comment on that.
Sure, go ahead.
Working in a sporting goods area over there at Walmart, I have watched over the last 2 or 3 years the expansion of pickleball, and the popularity is tremendous as far as the growth of it. However, I have not seen tennis dwindling at all as pickleball has expanded. So I think we got to be careful as far as balancing the two so that we're not taking too much away from the tennis when we're trying to expand the pickleball.
Yeah, and I would agree completely. From our public inventory, we have 4 pickleball courts currently and 4 tennis courts. You know, sometimes the high school lets people use those tennis courts, but the availability has always been a question. So that's why we're protective of not getting rid of any tennis courts. Maintaining our inventory there is an alternative that we can look to add additional pickleball courts without adjusting or without affecting tennis.
Possibly we could talk to the school about seeing if they can make it more accessible for the public also for that, for tennis, so that they have more opportunities for us as well as them.
So a couple other conversations I just will bring forth. Our golf cart ordinance, I've had some requests for clarity of where people can go and where they can't go, and is there signage, is there not signage? And particularly, I had 2 parties ask me, can we get all the way through town? And of course, my answer is like, no, there's restrictions and certain roads. Can we get to Miller Point? I said, not really, but you can get to Waukegan, and you could park on Waukegan. But then I pulled back and said, I don't know that you can park a golf cart on the side of Waukegan.
In parking spot, most of the parking is canceled.
And walk across the bridge. So when something comes up more than a couple times in just my wandering, I always want to bring it here so that if we can do a better job on maybe putting, I don't even know, do we have golf cart path signs? Are they?
So when you apply for registration in town, you have to sign a form. You get a copy of all the rules, which includes mapping. We have a GIS-friendly map that's available to anybody at their phone that tells you where you can go and where you can't go. And they have to sign that they acknowledge, in order to get that registration, that they understand where they can go and they can't go in order to get the permit from us. And then we sign the roads that you cannot ride on to make sure that there's no mistakes. The golf cart with the circle and slash through it, that means do not drive on this road past this.
Yeah, and I suspect my conversations were with people who are not registered because they.
That is my guess.
Because they kind of had we have to register, and I'm like, yep, and you need like seatbelts and headlights and brake lights and all these things, and they're like, oh, so maybe we shouldn't go there. But I said, I will refer you to the police department, and they will give you what you need. So just bring it back. And then, of course, with all the activity at Miller Point and the parking that is all over, I've been asked a couple times, do we have any like golf carts that run around and take handicapped people from place to place? Because we don't have enough handicap parking. So I don't know if that's even anywhere out on our agenda or on our purview in the future, but maybe it's something Bill's hitting his buttons.
We don't have cars. One of the things that we did design, we do meet the standards of what we should have. But for an event, it's never enough. I agree with you. And so one of our design layouts was really creating that drop-off area, especially if you could come in there, turn around, drop off your person that maybe needs help. Unless the person driving also needs help, then we create a little bit of an issue there. But we try to design it so to make it as friendly if there's not handicap parking available, that you can drop off relatively easy, but there's no golf carts that we have that are running people around currently.
Is that something we would consider for events?
We haven't considered that at all yet.
I know they do it for Fiesta Days, and you do it for Reza, and people take advantage of it, and I think it fosters, it removes the fear of, oh my God, I have to park in the middle of nowhere and get to the thing.
For Shamrocks, we use the trolley on the busy Saturday, but for the other events on a daily basis, we do not, or not a daily, or whenever they occur, we do not. But it might be something we could look into.
Oh my. So we'll have a conversation.
Probably more than 70.
Yeah, or way more. 200.
Probably 150.
Love your thinking though. Golf carts, trolley.
Mayor.
Yeah. Oh. So we'll talk.
Mayor.
One day. We'll have lunch or something.
Mayor.
Alderman Glab, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Alderwoman Miller brings up a real good point with the golf carts, and it's been quite a long time since we ever had any discussion on it, and I think we ought to put it on a discussion item to look at it. And right now, we still only have the one crossing on 120, correct? At
Meadow.
At Meadow, and maybe there's some better alternatives, considering if you live all the way on the east side of town, you have to go down Lillian and zigzag around and either take Royal or Oakwood to Meadow, and just to get on the north side up to the north end of town. I mean, it's quite a long trip.
Only cross the state road. We wouldn't, I mean, council can do what they want, but we would never promote crossing that wasn't in a controlled intersection.
Yeah, I realize there's say issues and everything else, but I think to some extent we ought to look at as far as discussion item. I don't think we need a committee of the whole or anything on this. Just to have a discussion to review it and see if there's anything that needs to be tweaked, and also maybe even discussion on how we can get it out to the public more of what can or can't do.
Well, if you register your golf cart like you're supposed to, you should have all that information. That's key.
And I understand that, and I understand, I was thinking of that before the chief even mentioned as far as the maps and everything else, but you know how they say, you can lead with the water, you can't make them drink. So let's maybe crash to try and do the best we can on the whole thing.
So I just don't understand what we're going to discuss, but is there 4 people that would like to discuss this item at a later meeting? Yeah?
I had a discussion before the meeting with the chief, and I've received 3 comments about potentially, and these are people who are registered and have have their carts, have the tags and everything. So yeah, they'd like to open up more roads, but I think it could be an item to discuss in the future.
All right. Bring it back for discussion?
Sure.
All right.
Because Ward 6, we've had a upcrop of golf carts running around. So, in the subdivision there. And
Okay. All right, we'll bring it back.
Hey, one question, Chief. How many golf carts do you think are out there now compared to when we first started this program?
So Monty manages the registration program. Unfortunately, he's somewhere warm on a beach. He would be the person to ask. I'm going to throw out a number, and I'm going to say it's around 60 of them are registered in the city. But that would be, I think, what was last year's numbers, and I don't know what May is when everybody starts to renew, April, May, and so I don't know what those numbers are this year.
Well, when I walk my dog every day at 6 o'clock, I swear there's at least 30 of them that go by me.
If you don't think they're registered, I will tell you what I tell everybody else. Please call the police non-emergency number, and we'll be more than happy to mount an investigation.
Yep.
Okay.
Alderman Bassi?
Thanks. Bill, about 6 months ago, we looked at these. So what I'm asking is included in your monthly update. Could you share with us any improvements that you have made to any of the neighborhood parks? I did go to Overton Park yesterday, and I did notice that you had repaired the roof, and that screw was all taken care of, so that's good. I was also at the Cold Springs, and I saw that you did clear that path out, except you cannot get into it at Ponca.
Yes, you can.
I walked that whole area.
You can. We took a bunch of work through there. We cleared it. We've done it already this spring as well. There's the connection.
You and I will walk it together then.
Sounds great.
Okay, but then, I mean, my only request is if you could include neighborhood park in your update, because a lot of it is Miller Park, the Riverwalk, and I'd like to see some of what's been going on with the neighborhood parks, please.
So this week, I was planning on sending out, we talked about that entire all-encompassing list that says every park, and there was the list of all the things that we're going to do, all the neighborhood parks. Here's the prioritized things that we're going to tackle. I'm going to send that updated list out that will give in green the projects that have been completed within each of those parks. So that was the all-encompassing list as opposed to sitting on every, on a staff reports. No, that's
What you're talking about?
not that one.
Okay.
Not that one. The one that has the map and every park laid out that I provided, I will send it out this week to all councilmen to just give you an update of where we're at.
Okay. And then I will call you and set up a time, because I do want to walk the Ponca area, because when I was there, I could not see any way to get in. Okay. Great, thank you.
Any other council comments?
I just have a question. Hey, Ross, how are we doing on grass compliance?
Horrible.
Okay. And I only ask because I've got a couple neighbors that are like not cut yet this year.
So someone started this No Mow May.
Yeah.
No Mow May. It has to do with pollinators and bees and all sorts of stuff. And so people got on board with this, and they just didn't cut their grass in May. And so it added to our normally busy spring season, because there were some pretty predominant properties that were letting their grass grow. And with all the rain, it's been a mess. So I can actually probably, if you, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's keeping them busy, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Because there's actually signs in a lot of the Milwaukee neighborhoods. You can
Yep.
get a specific sign that says, "Do not mow in May." No
Correct.
mow May, and
Yep.
it's for the bees.
It's a new push.
Yes.
No Mow May.
It's fairly new.
A nightmare.
Not prevented. Next June, cut your grass.
And then also, yes, to add to that, some people don't want to cut their grass because they're killing cicadas.
It's all right.
Yeah.
They're good for your lawn.
Look, I'm not an expert on it. This is what I'm hearing out there, so.
Cicada bodies yard waste.
Or what?
Are cicada bodies yard waste?
No, they're great for your lawn. They're great fertilizer.